Okay. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Expect a plethora of these videos over the next few days, weeks, even months, because we are months away from part 2 of Cobra Kai season 6 dropping. We only just got part 1, and it's like I can't wait to get my hands on the next part of this story. Lots of takeaways, lots to take in. There's going to be a plethora of videos that are coming from me, lots of live streams. Lots to talk about, lots of theories, lots of things, lots of, is Robbie going to win the Sekai Taikai? Is Robbie going to get injured and Miguel take over that position? Is, what's Silver going to do? Like all these questions, I've got videos on all of them coming up very, very soon. But I wanted to start out with this one. First things first, it's not the most significant storyline in Cobra Kai's history, but I think it's one of the most important. And the reason why, you have the bully and you have the victim working together. Now, I said while I was watching this offline with the bros, I said, if this is Kyler's farewell in the Cobra Kai universe, I think this is a good note to go out on. I think this is a very powerful goodbye. There's quite a blessing in us rooting for Kyler for once. I think I speak for everyone when I say during that frat party we were all rooting for Kyler, but don't you know I know karate, and then smacking him in the face. Like it was a great moment. But what I really love, other than the recontextualization of not just Brooks, who him and Hawk had their little exchange and their little back and forth of, I got new teeth put in after you smashed them out of my mouth. I also appreciate the fact that Kyler has a friend there. It's very interesting to see Kyler be turned into a complete punk. And, there's quite a deep, tragic story in there somewhere of Kyler just wanting to be someone that people admire and people respect. I think we have all had situations like that in our lives where we could all relate to that on some level. And I think it's so fitting that out of all the characters to give that to him, it ends up being the one guy that he bullied, RHEA. And just this conversation here, especially this scene where, you get the context of like, yeah, his dad was pissed off and he didn't get into any of the schools. He gives Miguel all of the wisdom to say, hey, go after your dream, regardless of what the odds are, regardless of what the naysayers say. Don't give up on yourself. Go and chase that dream. Don't lose sight of what's most important in life. And I never, ever, ever would have expected us to be sitting here, season 6 of this show, and saying that Kyler would deliver us one of the most important messages in the show. I think it highlights the level of growth that anyone can have. And there's a good lesson in here that sometimes your biggest adversaries can actually be your biggest allies. You may not think it necessarily at the time, but they can sometimes end up being your biggest allies and pushing you on forward. And I really appreciate the journey of Miguel in this scene as well. The fact that this is a guy that bullied him and he has the humility and the grace and the forgiveness and the empathy to not just forgive Kyler, but look past all what Kyler has done and have empathy for him when he really shouldn't. Like, if you want to be completely 100% honest, Kyler attacked aside from the bullying, attacked his injury specifically, constantly starts fights with him. All this bad stuff that Kyler's done over the years, he's just a jerk. But with this scene and with the way this episode played out, I love the fact that Kyler got recontextualized to be someone that he just wants the place to belong. And that's something that applies to all the characters within the show. And I really love the full circle moment of where, even Miguel's like, that's actually some great advice, Kyler. Yeah. And they get to about here. And then there's this dude that's like, hey, what you did was pretty cool. And Miguel hypes him up. He's like, you know what? I'll let you have it. And the journey of like, yeah, I used to kick this guy's ass all over the valley. The fact that the bully and the victim can both sit here and laugh about it and just take it in stride and not be affected by it to that level, it's just a testament to how far we've come. And I've said a lot that we don't know what part 3 has in store. So part 2 is the Sekai Taikai for sure. Part 3 is up in the air. No idea, no clue. The All Valley could be under attack. I mean, not the All Valley. The Valley could be under attack with no protection. I would not be against Kyler showing up and reappearing and helping. But if this is Kyler's farewell and his goodbye, what a way to go out. What a way to go out. And huge credit to Joe, who plays him, because he plays him with such charm that you should hate him, but you don't. Because he's that kind of a goof. He's that kind of humorous soul, you know? And I really appreciate the journey that both Miguel and Kyler are in the scene, but Kyler especially, you know, this is a great way to round off his character. And, you know, it's scenes like this that remind you you're in the final season. It reminds me of Harry Potter. And when they wrapped up Harry Potter, they would film scenes of certain actors, even though they had like weeks left, they would film scenes of certain actors, and that would be it for them. That would be their last shot. And they would have to be like, okay, we love you. Goodbye. We've got to move on now. Not personal. It just means they've got a movie to still shoot, but their contribution to the story is over. And, you know, it's quite powerful, you know, and I really hope that if we do see Kyler again, he's doing his usual spiel. I've got a lot of conversations about spin-offs and sequels down the road. I'll talk more about that in a live stream. That's more of a live stream conversation. But guys and girls, let me know what you thought of this progression. I thought this was really wholesome. I thought it was really sweet. And, you know, is it a bit unrealistic in some ways? I don't think so. I think, you know, sometimes when you have experiences with people who have wronged you, sometimes they can become your biggest allies. It's so palpable to life. Guys and girls, jump in the comment section down below. Let me know if you agree with any of the points I raised. Let me know what you thought of this. And I mean, you know, we're going to throw it right back to an old school classic of, if I don't pass trig this semester, my dad's going to shit in my mouth. That line will never, ever, ever, ever get old. And just because it's a Kyler brother.
Oh, you come for the king?
Peace out, guys. I'll see you in another video soon.